And the IT7 now for the men, 1,500 meters. Again, this is minor or non-permanent physical disability categorization or other illnesses such as post-traumatic stress disorder or traumatic brain injury. This ought to be a hotly competitive field.
Well, it's certainly the biggest field that we've seen today.
And Luke Wigman from the UK has taken the early lead, but that is not often when you have a field this large. So coincidentally, Luke Wigman is in front, and Allison Williams has more on Luke.
Well, for Luke, this is a short race. He's used to running marathons, extreme marathons, actually, and just an incredible story of perseverance. He was injured in 2011 by an IED strike in Afghanistan while he was on foot patrol with U.S. Marines and lost a large amount of flesh in his left knee. And while he was being tended to in the hospital, he saw fellow soldiers around him that were more severely injured, and he decided right then and there that this needed to be a driving force in his life, and it inspired him to make the most of his life and his abilities. He decided to do that by going hardcore into his training, no excuses. He did an Ironman a year and a half after he learned to walk. And then he decided the best way to really take advantage of what he's able to do and go and see the world was to run these extreme marathons all over the world. He's ran them at both the North and the South Pole, which is incredible. The South one is called the Antarctic Ice Marathon. He actually finished second in both of them. And he is planning on running in the Volcano Marathon in northern Chile, where he will run at 14,000 feet. He said it's all about not taking the little things for granted. He said not even everyone can just walk to the store. So everything I do in life, I try to remember how lucky I am. And he said I didn't feel like it was fair if I didn't go out there and take advantage of what I'm able to do. How's this for aspirations, though, guys? His goal is to run 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. Looking to get the backing to do that, obviously a costly endeavor, but that is his goal. He's absolutely incredible, guys.
Well, get a GoFundMe page going, and he may end up with a lot of contributions. At the moment, he's just about shoulder to shoulder with the Frenchman, Michael Courtois. Also in third at the moment is the American Zachary Bernash. This 5-some here has kind of broken clear from the field.
And that looks like the Denmark athlete Anderson in 4th.
So the bell lap is underway, and from the start, it's been Wigman. And just as I say that, the announcer jinx, Courtois edges in front. Now Wigman's going to have to go wide, and does so easily. So Courtois now has to find a gear that wasn't there a moment ago. Battle for third is close also. And now Wigman beginning to pull away, checks the crowd. Maybe he's trying to find the prince. And Wigman gracefully going down the stretch. Now moving into second is Anderson. It's Wigman at first, Anderson second, and holding on to third, Courtois. There's one for the UK. But how about that, Dan? Wigman almost cat and mouse game there with Courtois. Courtois took the lead for about 5 seconds, and Wigman passed him on the turn, and that was it.
Oh, he was just teasing him. Wigman looked like he was in total control. He barely looked tired, especially, you know, with 1,500 meters. When you run ultra marathons, 1,500 meters, you know, should be really easy for you. And I think he knew that. He just had certainly had more energy. So he was happy to give up the lead because he knew he was going to get back with 250 meters left to go in that race.
Great respect for our champion Luke. From Angelo Anderson of the U.S. there. So Wigman coming down the stretch just ended up being a triumphant victory for him as the way he finished so strongly here, Dan. A fist pump in the air. The UK fans overjoyed, and Prince Harry very proud of his fellow countryman Luke Wigman winning the 1500 meters at the Invictus Games. Coming up, the 200 meters and more from Orlando.